Thunder roared overhead as Jackson twisted the throttle on his black chopper. The beast's engine growling like a cornered coyote slicing through the pouring rain on that forsaken Nevada highway. Lightning cracked the sky, illuminating the crimson sandstone cliffs and the endless stretch of wet asphalt snaking through the desert like a venomous serpent. There she was, a lone figure huddled by the roadside, her soaked clothes clinging to her frame, shivers racking her body as the storm howled without mercy. Jackson skidded to a halt, his scarred leather jacket dripping rivers, cowboy hat tilted low over eyes that had seen too many betrayals. "Gal, you fixin' to freeze out here? Hop on before this dang storm swallows us both," he growled, extending a gloved hand. She looked up, eyes wide with a mix of fear and desperation. Elena, mid-20s, tough as cactus spines, but with a vulnerability that cut deeper than any blade. I ain't got nowhere to go, mister. They left me. Just left me to rot," she stammered, her voice barely audible over the wind's fury. Without another word, Jackson hauled her onto the chopper's wide seat, the chrome handlebars gleaming under erratic flashes of light. The bike roared to life again, tires spitting gravel as they peeled away from the abandoning spot, leaving the storm's wrath in their dust, or what passed for dust in that deluge. They raced through the night, the chopper's headlight piercing the veil of rain like a determined arrow, winding past ghost towns where faded neon signs flickered like dying embers. As the miles blurred, Elena clung to him, her arms tight around his waist, the warmth of her body a stark contrast to the chill seeping through his jacket. They didn't speak much. Words weren't needed yet. Finally, the storm began to ease and Jackson veered off the highway toward his hidden spot, an old weathered cabin tucked in a rugged canyon camouflaged by yonder boulders and scrub brush, a place where folks like him could lay low. He killed the engine, the chopper's rumble fading into the desert's hush. "This here's my hideout. Ain't much, but it'll keep the elements off you. Get inside, dry off. I reckon we both could use a brewing cup of joe." Elena nodded, following him in, her steps hesitant but grateful. The cabin's interior glowed faintly from a lantern, walls lined with maps and relics of a life on the run. Faded photos, a coiled rope, and that phoenix tattoo peeking from under his sleeve as he shrugged off his jacket. "Now, folks, let's mosey back a bit and fill in the blanks like a drifter sharing tales by the campfire." You see, Jackson weren't always the lone rider tearing through the Southwest on that black beast of a chopper with its long sweeping handlebars and chrome that shone like a full moon. He was once a lawman in these parts, upholding justice in dusty towns from Arizona to Nevada. But a dang betrayal by his own partner, sold out to a corrupt gang for a fistful of dollars, left him scarred, his family gone in the crossfire. That phoenix inked on his arm, a reminder of rising from ashes, vowing to protect the vulnerable, riding as a vigilante against the lawless. And Elena? Poor gal was born into the Dust Devils, a notorious biker gang roaming these highways, led by her ruthless brother, Marco. She wanted out after seeing too much cruelty, refused to join a heist that had hurt innocent folks. So they abandoned her in that storm, reckoning she'd perish and take her secrets with her. But fate had other plans, brewing a conflict that'd shake the desert sands. What neither knew yet was how their paths were tangled tighter than a wrangled steer. Morning light filtered through the cabin's cracked window, painting the room in golden hues over the vast canyon beyond. Jackson brewed coffee on a rusty stove, the aroma mixing with the scent of sagebrush wafting in. Elena sat wrapped in a blanket, her dark hair dry now, cascading like a midnight river. "Why'd you help me, stranger? Most folks round here would have kept riding." He poured her a mug, his gruff voice softening just a touch. "Name's Jackson, but they call me the Lone Rider. Seen too many left behind in this world." "Ain't right. What's your story, gal? Who'd do such a thing?" She sipped, eyes distant staring at the flicker of sunlight dancing on the chopper parked outside, its frame gleaming like polished obsidian. My kin, the Dust Devils. Brother's the leader, Marco. I crossed him, said no to his wicked ways. Left me stranded, hoping the storm had finished the job. Got 2 little sisters back with him, though. Worrying about him something fierce. Jackson's jaw tightened, that phoenix tattoo seeming to shift in the light. Darn gangs like that, they poison the open road. I lost kin to betrayal, too. Reckon we got more in common than this coffee. As the day wore on, they shared stories under the shade of an overhang. The desert wind whispering secrets through the canyons. Elena's laugh echoed lightly when Jackson joked about his chopper being faster than a jackrabbit on a hot griddle, and he found himself smiling. A rare thing. Their hands brushed as she helped him tinker with the bike, sparks flying not just from the tools but from something deeper. The romance built slow like a gathering storm in shared glances over a simple meal of beans and bread, her touch lingering on his arm as she traced the phoenix. This here tattoo, it's like you rose from nothing. Gives a gal hope, but peace don't last in the desert, folks. That evening, as crimson sunset painted the skies like spilled blood over rugged peaks, a distant rumble grew. Not thunder this time, but engines. Jackson stepped out, squinting yonder. Twist 1. The ground shook as 50 bikers crested the ridge, surrounding the hideout in a cloud of dust, their choppers roaring like a pack of wolves led by Marco himself, eyes burning with fury. Jackson, or should I say Lone Ryder, hand over my sister or we'll turn this canyon into your grave. Marco bellowed from his lead bike, a monstrous machine with spiked wheels, his gang hooting and hollering behind him, weapons glinting in the dying light. Elena gasped, rushing out. Marco, you dang fool! I ain't going back. These folks you hurt, they're why I left. Jackson mounted his chopper, engine revving to life with a defiant growl. Y'all best skedaddle. This gal's under my protection now. What he did next shocked the whole Southwest. Instead of running, Jackson charged straight into the fray, his chopper weaving through the encirclement like a phantom, tires kicking up sandstorms that blinded the attackers. Elena grabbed a spare helmet, hopping on behind him. Let's wrangle these varmints. The chase exploded across the desert, bikes zooming past neon-lit diners on the outskirts of a ghost town, lightning from a brewing storm illuminating the pursuit. Marco's gang fired shots that pinged off Jackson's chrome beast, but he outmaneuvered them, using the terrain, jumping ravines, sliding through narrow passes where only his skill could navigate. Twist 2. In the heat of the chase, Elena shouted over the wind, Jackson, Marco's the one who betrayed your partner years ago. He's the snake that cost you everything. Jackson's grip tightened on the handlebars, rage fueling his ride. That's so. Reckon it's time for some long-overdue reckoning. They led the gang into a trap, an abandoned mine shaft in the canyons where Jackson had stashed explosives from his vigilante days. Nothing lethal, just enough to collapse a rock wall and block the path. The blast echoed like thunder, scattering most of the bikers, leaving Marco isolated. In a dusty showdown under moonlight, chrome gleaming on stalled bikes, Jackson faced Marco man to man. You took my family, buddy. Now you're fixin' to lose yours. Marco sneered, drawing a knife. She was always weak. Like you, hiding behind that vigilante mask. But Elena stepped forward, her voice steady. No more, brother. The Dust Devils end tonight. For our sisters. For everyone you've hurt. Twist 3. Marco lunged, but Jackson disarmed him with a swift move, revealing a hidden locket from Marco's pocket, holding a photo of Jackson's lost wife, proving the deep betrayal tied their fates. Dang it all, you were there that night, Jackson whispered, the phoenix tattoo almost glowing in the tension. Marco crumpled, defeated not just by fists but by truth. The remaining gang, seeing their leader broken, scattered into the night. Elena's sisters, hidden in the fray, emerged safe. Turns out she'd signaled them earlier via a stolen radio. As dawn broke over the canyons, painting the landscape in hues of hope, Jackson and Elena stood by his chopper, her hand in his. Their kiss was fierce yet tender, sealing a bond forged in storm and fire. "Reckon the open road's calling us both now," he said softly. Emotional peak. With the gang disbanded and sisters free, they rode off together, the chopper's roar echoing redemption across the southwest. But as they vanished toward the horizon, that phoenix tattoo shimmered faintly, hinting at mysteries yet to unfold, like whispers of a larger threat brewing in the shadows. Folks, the desert don't forgive easy, but sometimes it offers a second chance, like rescuing a stranded gal from the storm only to face her gang's wrath. If that tale stirred your spirit, subscribe and hit that bell, 'cause the Lone Rider's got more secrets and showdowns waiting in these dusty trails. Stay vigilant out there, y'all.